before I came on, my husband was like that. My baby's just ate a crystal. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, no, really?
She's fine. Small one,
she's all
but
right.
she'll survive.
Oh my God. By the way, we're live, just to let you know, just if you say anything. Welcome, Ash.
Hello. Thanks for having me again. It's good to be back.
Yeah, no, it's great to have you back. I mean, yeah, everyone loved you when you came on the last time. It was brilliant, you know.
Thank you.
And we went into subject matter which was like people wouldn't normally go into, and you gave such a great understanding of it all and gave you such great insights into it, and it was brilliant. And so I'm sure everyone got a lot of value from that. Had to get you back. And we just had a bit of drama here where you shared the studio link, the guest link to everyone. So I've just had like masses of people pour into the studio. I've had to deal with that, but I guess that's just part of the process. That's all good.
This is me, because I am lastminute.com with everything. I am the most disorganized person that you can meet. Thank God I have an assistant who I was meant to invite along to this as well. Hang on till I just send her
Send her a message.
Send her a message. It's going to be taking screenshots and everything for us. So I'll just send her in just now. Let me see.
And whilst you're doing that, I'm going to just say to everyone, welcome to the show, everyone. Hello, Emma May. Hello, Rebecca. Hello, Amy. Hello, Lucy, Monica, Nats, Akvil. I think I've pronounced that right. Yeah, sorry, bit of a teething issue. These are all your friends, I'm guessing, aren't they?
That's how proactive my assistant is. She's here already without me having said.
Oh, look at you,
amazing
assistant.
Yeah, she keeps me right. Otherwise, I swear I'd be in like a psychiatric hospital or something.
I think I could do with a bit of help like that, to be honest with you. But yeah, like this is I've been looking forward to this for the last few weeks actually, Ash, because you're so talented. You're such a beautiful person as well, and you got so many talents to bring to the world. And we connected on, I think, TikTok, and you appreciate the work that I was doing, and I really appreciate the work that you were doing. And we're chipping away, aren't we? We're chipping away at the matrix.
We are. We're definitely out in the front lines for sure, out in the battle lines in this crazy matrix world. But honestly, like I do not see myself as being talented, right? And the reason that I don't is because I see myself as being someone who has worked at accessing these abilities and gifts that we all have lie within us. So for remote viewing, for example, everyone is capable of doing that, that's on the world. And I'm just someone who was activated quite early on and was pushed into doing this. It's definitely not a path that I would have chose for myself by any means. I would not in a million of years have seen myself of doing this kind of work, but I was very much kind of pushed down into doing that. But I truly do believe that we all have these abilities and we all have these gifts that lie within us, and our gifts and abilities lie in different areas, but we all have forms of so much power that lies within us.
Oh, I love that. You know what's funny? I actually interviewed someone recently, and they were talking about there's a shift in consciousness that's happened, and he says it all connects to there's a sun called Sirius. It's also known as the Black Sun, and it's in a binary system with our sun. And what he's saying is what's happening is when the Sirius Black Sun and our sun comes together, the closer it gets, the higher the level of consciousness in humanity raises. And we've had that in the past. And also we've had like giants. He was talking about giants, and we've had like, just much more wisdom and knowledge and enlightenment. And he says when they go further apart, it's what's called the falling of man. And he said that what happened was the Atlanteans tried to maintain some of this knowledge and proliferate it so it wouldn't get completely buried. So they set up the religion and the mystery schools. This is his theory anyway.
Yep.
And and I don't know why I started this story, but he's basically saying that that's the reason why certain people have the psychic abilities and some don't, because it's almost like it's an expression of this new wave of, since 2012, it's like the series is starting to come closer together. So it's almost like for the next 12,000 years, we're going to start speeding up as a consciousness, as a humanity. And the outliers, the certain people that are very connected and very activated early, are going to start picking up on those vibrations early. And then there's going to be like a crescendo effect, like a kind of a cascading effect, where the next batch, and it's like, you know, all comes through. But like this, like certain individuals are starting to pick. So you're one of those, you know, who are really connected and really like an antenna, you know, like going to pick this up. But over the next, unfortunately, we're not going to be alive to see it. But over the next 12,000 years, we're going to see a huge, I think, rise in consciousness. And we're going to go back to. He says that we used to have psychic abilities. We always used to be able to connect to everyone psychically, and then we lost that. And there was the fall of man. And now we're going to go into a stage, for the next 12,000 years, where we're always going to go back into those altered states of consciousness, psychic abilities, telekinesis, telepathy, that kind of thing. What do you think of that?
I think that's really interesting. There's definitely a lot of that resonates for sure in what he's saying, and kind of matches information that I feel as well. And from what I've seen, I do feel like we will see a lot more in this lifetime as well. From what I've seen in the Atlantis timeline, I've remote viewed the Atlantis timeline. I've also had so many clients who have regressed back to the Atlantis timeline in a past life regression session as well. And they all describe the same things as happening, and really interesting when you see that. I have seen a past life for myself in the Atlantis timeline as well. And with the Atlantis timeline, from what I've seen, is matching what he said as well, that it was telekinesis, teleportation, you know, it was like full, stepped into full abilities, so much power that everyone held. And they did try to keep some of the knowledge, because they all had the ability to foresee where the timelines were taking people. And what happened was Atlantis originally was so high vibrational, so peaceful, so loving, and then something happened, like as what you're saying, and it became very corrupted. The people in power, very similar to where we're at right now as well. The people in power just corrupted to the dark side, and a lot of the souls that were there for the end of the Atlantis timeline, there was a lot that managed to escape, but a lot perished. When I say perished, meaning fell to the dark side. So those souls that fell to the dark side ended up being kind of stuck reincarnating all the time to try and work off the dark soul contracts and everything they gained in that timeline. But for the ones that actually managed to escape, and funnily enough, you're mentioning Sirius, I seen them escaping through a stargate that led to Sirius. So that's
wow.
Really that you're saying that. I've done a video on this probably about I don't know, 6 months ago or something on TikTok, and that's what I'd said, that I seen it leading to the Stargate to Sirius. So that's really interesting that he's saying that. And for the ones that escaped, they were all left with guilt wounds, and they had guilt wounds because they had to leave behind so many people that fell, and they carried this. They then have this savior complex, which I have a savior complex big time, and they have this savior complex and this need to come in and save everyone kind of type mentality. And I see it in every single soul that's lived in that Atlantis timeline that escaped. So it's really interesting. They carried this guilt forward that they had to leave them behind, even though they had no choice. They still just felt this kind of guilt at not being able to save them.
Yeah, that connects so perfectly then, because he's basically saying that the Atlanteans tried to proliferate the wisdom, and then what happens is that he said that you know the story of Atlantis falling. He says it didn't fall, like the waters rise and it just like completely subsumed the.
That's what I said in my video.
Oh, wow.
That's what I said in my video.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No way.
Oh my
God,
that's
what I seen when I remote viewed it. I seen it. That's what I described it. It's just water just coming as this. That's so interesting.
Yeah, and then he went on to say that what happened was this ancient wisdom was hijacked and then corrupted, and then people, because there was the fall of consciousness, these people then used it to create false history, history, deception. It was more about greed and individual acquisition of things, and then that's what created all like the modern religions and stuff like that. That's what he was saying anyway. way. And it's almost like even the secret societies like the Freemasons, he was saying, started off benevolent and good, and they were trying to like proliferate the information, but people infiltrated it and then subverted it, and then it became something that, so you've probably got a light side and a dark side of a lot of things, religion, secret society. There's probably a lot of Freemasons trying to do good work, but even probably the Knights Templar and all these sort of places, they're probably actually trying to do good stuff, but then you also have that dark side within it. And maybe we'll see that in movies and stuff, you know, like the dark and the light in Star Wars and all that. They're telling you there's a dark and a light.
Definitely. Yeah. That definitely resonates. And you know, there's with like religion and everything like that, even with spirituality, of course it's all going to be infiltrated. If you put yourself in the shoes of the dark side, right, of course you're going to infiltrate these things. These are going to be the things that you infiltrate first of all, is people's belief systems, religion, spirituality, all of it. Even new age type spirituality is massively hijacked, like massively. It is the most, honestly, they hate religion, and they're very, you know, like they both hate each other. It's like you know, religion and new age. The new age is always bashing religion, and it's just like, that is, the new age is so seriously infiltrated, like it's just as much so as religion. And you know, there's truth in it. There's definitely some truth in the Bible for sure. Like, don't get me wrong, I do read the Bible as well. But I am able to discern when I'm reading it, like what's bullshit and what's, you know, there's some, and I have my own interpretations when I read it. I read it because I am so curious, like, and I want to just soak up, you know, everything and discern and interpret things the way that I want to interpret them. But you can tell, for me, you can tell the parts that have been put in there for fear and control, basically, tactics as well. And it's obviously as well, all of this, it's encouraging people to constantly seek out this external savior and this external power all the time, when actually, you know, we have the power within us as well. We don't have to go to a church. We don't have to rely on, when new age as well, all of these loads of spiritual beings and everything around. Much. When we hold the power within, ultimately.
We do. And you know what's funny? I asked my audience to come up with some questions for you, right? And hello, shout out to Tom Thumb. You're one of my he's one of my moderators, and he came up with loads of questions for you. But he's basically saying what you were saying earlier. He says, how long did this take you to develop your remote viewing skills? And what's the actual process like for someone that's starting off? Can they learn this, or is it bestowed upon you? Is this a process that you can actually take, would you say?
That's a really good question. So for me, it was very much a process for learning for me. So when I went through my very first awakening, I was early 20s. I'm 37 now, right? So it was quite a while ago when I had my first awakening. However, it was very superficial. I was heavily into new age practices back then. I was channeling dark spirits. I'm very open about that. I was not working good, put it that way, at that time, because it was just naivety. I didn't know what I was doing, and you know, I was being led down a dark path during that time. Then I had a massive awakening that came through a near-death experience, and I literally felt the darkness leaving me. Big long story that I won't fully get into. I think we spoke about it briefly the last time as well, so I don't want to bore everyone. But I had a massive kind of activation that happened through that. And my abilities did skyrocket through that, and it was really overwhelming. I didn't know how to kind of deal with it, and I was led to, there's been a few people over the course of the years that have guided me and helped me. There's an Indigenous elder that I work with, who the Indigenous, the natives, oh my goodness, the natives just hold all the knowledge. You know, they are incredible with the sacred knowledge that they hold, and I've been fortunate enough to have teachings from natives throughout my journey as well. I really connect strongly with the natives, and I've got another woman called Katie Speed who is incredible. I was led to her in the most amazing way as well. So I have been led to people, right, that it helped me on my journey in some way, and this is what will happen with everyone. You will be led to people that can help bring out these skills. everyone can remote view, right? It's not, we all have that ability, but yes, you do need to unlock it in some way. Anybody can learn it, but please, for the love of God, do not use the documents on the CIA website, right? The Gateway Experience. Oh, I hear everyone talking about this, and I'm just like, of course they're not going to put that information out there. Now, that information that's out there in the Gateway Experience, what that does is, yes, it shows you how to remote view. However, it opens you up to dark entities when you're remote viewing, right? So the techniques and everything that are in there is you are completely open. So what can happen when you're remote viewing, especially if you're remote viewing dark places and you're not adequately protecting, shielding your energy, then you will be seen, right, when you're doing that, and you will be followed home by something. Happened to me when I just started learning to remote view. I was, again, quite naive to what was out there. I was followed home by a very powerful demonic being who tormented me for about 2 months before I finally was able to banish her, get rid of her. But I did not sleep in that time. She kept me awake. She offered me deals, everything. It was just crazy. But you know what? I learned so much from that experience. And I really kind of upped my game when it came to remote viewing. So I'm very careful now with protecting my energy. I do show people how to remote view. People, but it's people that I kind of work with. I'll show them on a one-to-one basis. Steps wise, anybody can learn it. Yeah.
Anyone can learn it, okay. But it's like someone just said here, it's like it's important to find someone that you trust, right? So people can
100%.
come to you. People can come to you for some stuff like that, right? Yeah, okay.
If you feel drawn, you know, like just if there's make sure you feel drawn to the person, because when you're drawn to the person, then that'll be the person for you. But the universe, if it's something that's meant for you and it's something that you're meant to access in this life, you will feel drawn to it. First of all, if you feel drawn to remote viewing, then you'll have a calling to access that in this life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's your innate intuition telling you to guide you to certain directions. Yeah, that makes sense. And hopefully everyone can appreciate that as well. Yeah, I want to get stuck into it, and I want to respect your time because we don't have that long today. And I just love speaking to you. I wish I could just speak to you for 5 hours, but we can't. But I've asked the audience to come up with some good questions and stuff that maybe you haven't talked about on your TikTok channel. And if you're a follower of my channel, please check out your TikTok. Could you say your handle again? It's like Ash.
It's Ash Tyler 222 is my actual Tyler.
Okay, I'm going to write that in here. Ash Tyler 222. Yeah, please go and check out Ash's TikTok channel. She's absolutely smashing it. Yeah, it's such good fun, and you just really go after like the darkest subjects as well that people are afraid to go for, aren't you?
Ones that people won't talk about, I'll talk about it. But you know,
yeah, you'll go there, won't you?
I can take the hate and everything that comes my way from it. You know, I actually did a video about the LDS temple in Salt Lake City, and that people were not happy about what I said about that. Like, it was, of course, come on. I mean, of course it's going on under there, but
and you did Denver Airport as well, didn't you? Denver.
That was really messed up. Actually, I did not expect to see what I seen at Denver Airport. There was parts to that, and I kind of uncovered a lot more than what I meant to uncover when I looked into that, like names and you know, like a ranch. I don't know if you've seen all the parts, but I located this ranch that I seen. I located the owner of the ranch and who the owner was involved with. Ranch ties to Donald Trump, like. Yeah, it was insane.
Well, it's funny to say that because, you know, I've been interviewing guests that have been taken underground the Disney parks. I don't know if you've done a Disney one yet, but there's a whole network underneath the Disney parks, and they do MK Ultra mind control on kids underneath the Disney parks.
Wow.
So that might be something you maybe that's a video you could look into. But, you know, what they say is they actually trained Leonardo DiCaprio as an MK Ultra mind control kid underneath Disney. And what they do is they actually practice killing other children underneath the parks. So then they then use the CIA. They become CIA assassins, and they don't even know they're assassins. If you've seen the Bourne Ultimatum series, where he doesn't even know he doesn't remember himself, that's exactly what happens. They're telling you that they are mind controlled. They're MK Ultra mind control programmed, and then they go out and kill people. It's only when they become about 30 years old they start to have the memories of it all. But that all happens underneath Disney parks. That's one of the main reasons it was set up as an MK Ultra mind control center. But I think also that there's lots of underground tunnels as well.
100%.
So I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? This is a huge industry, huge trade, and
huge industry, huge. It's quite frightening. I went to Disneyland. I went to Disneyland Paris when I've been a few times, but I remember when I went when I was 14, and I was, kid you not, chased round the full park by Goofy, and he was very angry and chasing me and my friend and trying to grab us round the full park. Like, what was he trying to do to us? Really? I swear to, like, now I think about it, at the time we were just kind of laughing about it and stuff, but now I'm looking back, I'm like, what was Goofy trying to do to us?
How old were you at the time, though? Was
14.
This recently?
I was 14.
Oh, you're 14.
14, so I was a child.
Wonderful. Yeah, you were a child. Yeah, that's strange, isn't it? And they even say that what happens is they'll have kids on a ride, and then they'll actually malfunction the ride, so then they can take the kids off and walk them downstairs, like from certain points of the ride as it goes around, and they walk them down, and everyone thinks that the ride's malfunctions. Yeah, it's
I'm getting total goosebumps. I've not done Disney, but I did do Disney Club 33, so I remote viewed that, but not specific, just that, to see what was going on there. But I definitely need to look into Disney to see what
that would be a good one for you. There we go. I've given you one to do. Give you some content ideas here, haven't I?
Nice.
Okay. Can I give you some things that maybe you haven't talked about, and we can try remote viewing these? Okay. Yes. All right. Everyone's going to laugh at this one, but dinosaurs.
That's quite funny, to be fair. I'm interested to see, because I've never. I've never remote viewed that. Let me just see.
All right, come on. And get your questions in, guys. If you want to ask anything, like, I'll pick out the best ones from the questions as well. And please follow Ashley. Her handle is AshTyler222 on TikTok. Please support her. Please go and get a session with Ashley as well.
I can't see anything, so I'm getting through. They don't exist.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Is that what you're thinking?
Dinosaurs never existed. It's just another.
No, I can't see anything. I'm asking to go to the timeline with dinosaurs, and there's nothing coming through whatsoever. And then I'm just asking for the guidance. Do they exist? I'm getting a solid no. So interested.
I mean, how amazing is that? How amazing! We've just.
What is the point? What is the point there? What is the point in that? Is it just more lies about history? Like,
I don't know. Like, can you find that out? Can we remote view that? Like, what's the reason for that?
Okay, so there's a few things coming through for this. So when I'm looking into that, I'm feeling like reptilian energy here, right? So that means it's a form of deception from the reptilians. So this is actually quite messed up. What I'm seeing is when people are, I'm just thinking about, this is so messed up.
I've ruined your childhood now. I've ruined all your
movies. Now I'm thinking about I'm sure my baby's got a dinosaur toy somewhere. That's what I'm thinking about now. So when people are connecting to the energy of, right, when people are connecting to the energy of dinosaurs, right, for example, then they're essentially being opened up to, it's actually reptilian energy, so it's part of a deception. So also it's to do with lies about history as well, and about, you know, the humanity history as well. So it's like a cover up in terms of that. You know, that these beings kind of rule the world. Nah, that's definitely not the case. So it's to do with kind of deception around that, for opening people up to more of that energy. I've ruined everything for myself as well,
Yeah.
Rebecca. Sorry, I've ruined everything for myself.
But why would they just make up dinosaurs? What, they could make up anything. Like, why dinosaurs? What's so important about that narrative?
Well, if you think about reptiles, right? They're
Yeah.
like they're reptiles as well, right? So there's close. See, when I have seen a reptilian in form, they don't get me wrong, the shapeshift and things like that. But when I have seen reptilians in their form, they don't look far off dinosaurs. Put it that way, you know.
Oh,
So
maybe they're celebrating themselves, but they're trying to put the like
they're
a
glorifying themselves. They
a
rule the
relic of
world.
themselves out into us, so
Yeah.
we project our intention into them to
Yes,
to kind of give
that's
them an uplift or something.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's what.
That's it. Because
That's
they
what
are
it is.
all
Yeah,
about
yeah.
they're all about the egos and things like that. Good question. How did the fossils get there? Are they
Yeah.
even real? Like, let's have a look and see about the
Whilst you're
fossils.
doing that, okay, I don't want to poison the well a little bit here, but I think a lot of the fossils that you actually see in these museums aren't real. They're made of paper mache. But I don't want to. I don't want to. But I want to see what Ash says.
Well, that, to be honest, that if you so, for example, there was one in Glasgow, right, a couple of years ago, and they made such a big deal about it coming, but then they said the replica, right?
Yeah.
So I remember talking to someone in work, my old work, about this, and she was going, I was like, why would you go and see a replica? And she's like, but they're all replicas. I went, well, where's the real ones then? Like, you know.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, so I think Bex has also got a really good point that she's made, that it stops the God thing as well. Very true,
Yeah.
right? Because this, to me, right, and what my feeling is with everything, the way that the dark side is to tear people away from God, source, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter, right? Everything is aimed to just disconnect you from
the
God,
creator spirit, the
creator
creator
light,
energy,
right?
yeah.
Energy. So that is something that further would separate people from that. The whole science kind of evolution type process, you know, that they talk about and everything.
Yeah.
It's all designed to just kind of separate people from creator of light. Fossils, I don't feel they're real. Yeah, I don't feel the fossils are real that are there.
No, I don't either. No.
You know, it's like, I feel like there's some CIA involvement. I'm getting goosebumps when I'm saying that. And that as well, just when I was saying that, I was getting some goosebumps through when I was saying that. So I feel like there's some involvement there with people placed out in these sites. And yeah, there's definitely some dodgy happening.
Some meddling going on there.
Meddling.
So Ash, what do you reckon then? What the origins of the human species then? Did we come from monkeys, or what did we come from?
No, definitely not. So the human species, I believe, so remember, the human species we're not talking about souls either. So we're just talking about the human, our meat suits, right, that we're in right now, so to speak. I'm talking about. So I believe that, from what I've seen, and I've had clients regress back to the beginning of time as well. So I believe that the Anunnaki were responsible for creating the human body, so to speak, right? They wanted to create a slave race as such, to people who were, so that's how, so cavemen and things like that, you know, like the whole cavemen, I believe that was what the Anunnaki was wanting to create. But I don't believe the Anunnaki didn't plan for souls to inhabit these bodies either, you know. So it was like this, the Anunnaki, I'm not saying they're all dark, right, but the ones that I've seen are very, very dark, the Anunnaki. But I'm not going to say the whole race is, because I don't know the whole race, and I'm sure, you know, there's light and dark to everything, as we've said, but the ones that I've seen are very, very dark, and they masquerade as light. So they wanted this kind of slave race of beings. They wanted to be gods, essentially. So they chose to disconnect from source energy. They wanted to be their own gods, their own rulers, fuel their ego. So they wanted to create this race that they could rule upon. And from what I've seen, it started off, for these people who had these lifetimes at the start of humanity, it started off not too bad, and then they started. So if you think about the Book of Enoch and what's in the Book of Enoch as well, so much truth in that, like the Watchers and so I believe the Anunnaki were hybrid breeding as well, and that's what the Book of Enoch talks about when it talks about the man, the fallen angelics going with the daughters of Eve, and all of the hybrid breeding, the mixing with the animals and everything like that. So I believe that there was all this hybrid breeding and everything going on to try, and I believe they do this in an intergalactic level as well. Anunnaki reptilians, that they try to breed species, hybrid breed species together as well from different star systems. And yeah, it's pretty messed up. I think it's pretty messed up.
So basically, before the Anunnaki came about, humans didn't exist. We didn't exist, or did we?
No, not in
this physical form. Not in this physical form, but we did.
Not in the physical form,
we
but we
existed on some astral level, or some, cosmic level,
cosmic level, but not in human level. And I believe that's how this is so heavy and dense down here as well, down in the earth plane. It was never meant to be this way, is what I kind of feel. It was never meant to be this way.
So so we probably exist on some cosmic level, and maybe we're trapped in this like a simulation, like they've got us caught in this trap somehow, and they've got us on the physical level as well, and the DNA level. They kind of they're messing with stuff, they're meddling with us there. So maybe so we're in this kind of soul trap. Maybe you've heard that before, right? We're in maybe
the soul trap. The soul trap theory, I always get asked about that, right? So my take on the soul trap theory is it's like every other theory out there, right? There's some truth in it mixed in with a hell of a lot of mistruths to throw people. So for me, the one the whole kind of soul trap theory, yes, there's a reincarnation loop. There's some, not all souls though have been stuck on this reincarnation loop. There's so many souls that are in this timeline right now that have volunteered to come down here. So the volunteer souls is very much true. That tends to be the souls who are, I guess, on an awakening journey of some sort. Those souls, they tend to be the volunteer souls. The ones who you can see are really plugged into the matrix, right, tend to be the ones that are on that reincarnation loop that keep going round and round all the time. Now, the issue that I have with the soul trap theory is a few things. So the crossing towards the light part as well. Now, I believe that, so the whole soul trap theory, it's like you have to sort it out when you die, basically, right? So it's, you need to wait until you die, and then you do this, and then you do that, and it's all these really confusing information out there for people that people are like, what the heck am I going to do when I die? And they start freaking out. It's not about the process when you die, it's about the process when you are here. So the way that you can free yourself from this reincarnation loop is to work off your karma, be a good person, be kind to people, be honest in life, have integrity, love your neighbor, like all of these kind of things, and that's where there's some truth in the oh my goodness, it's just went right out my head. 7 deadly sins, right? 7 deadly sins that they talk about. So any imbalance in these areas, greed, lust, all of these different areas within the 7 deadly sins, that is what's going to keep you having to come back onto earth. So if you just balance yourself, everything in moderation, be a good person, seek a path of self-discovery, spiritual awareness, then that's what's going to free you from the reincarnation. Like, it's not about when you die, because if you have dark soul contracts, then you've got those dark soul contracts. You can't free yourself from them when you die. I think the information is so confusing for people in the soul trap theory. But as I've said, the fact that we are in some form of prison planet definitely resonates for me as well.
I agree. I agree. So, I don't want to go too much into that, because I think we spoke about that last time. But I think people have said don't head towards the white light. They say that's like the trap. I don't know what you think about that, but they say don't.
No,
no.
I don't believe that. That's the part that I don't believe. And the reason that I don't believe that part is because I have seen, so earthbound entities, for example, right? Earthbound entities are trapped souls who are stuck here, who have not crossed over for one reason or another. if a soul does not cross towards the light when it goes, then that soul can remain trapped in the in-between realm, which in turn can leave a lot more souls, fragments of souls, not full souls, but a lot more fragments of souls trapped on the earth and the in-between the earth plane. Then they have to feed off of an energy, attach onto people to survive in the earth plane. So when I've done past life regression sessions with people, life between life sessions, they all talk about this going towards source, the light being sourced directly. So what I've seen that being like as well as creator of light, if you think of it as being like the sun, right? The creator of light being like the sun, and we're all the rays of the sun, right? All connected to source. So there's this part of us that always remains connected to source energy, and it's like a particle or a fragment of us that comes down into the earth plane. So when we die, right, when we pass over, we are meant to connect back up onto source energy and connect back to our higher self, our oversoul. So if that is what the light would be, so if someone's not crossing towards the light, then like how are they connecting?
Where'd you
back?
go? Yeah, where would you go?
Yeah.
So
no,
I get that.
That's my thoughts. That's my thoughts on it anyway.
I get that's really, really good. Yeah, we've had conversations about that before, haven't we? But that's a really interesting subject. I'd love to. I'm actually going to be doing more episodes on that because I do think it's really, really interesting. I'm sure on some level whoever's in charge are trying to get us to stay in a loop, but we have to maybe break the loop. We probably do have to break the loop somehow. Yeah. I don't know what that looks like though. I don't know what that breaking of the loop looks like, but we're working on it. We're working on it. Just
being a good person, honestly, just being a good person.
Being a good person, trying to get to high vibration, right? Yeah.
Doing what's right, having a strong moral code, and just doing what's right. At the end of the day, we all make mistakes, don't get me wrong, but redemption for the mistakes and repenting any issues that you have had in the past, really letting go, so not carrying on any shame that you feel over mistakes that you've made, because we're all human, we all have darkness within us, and we're all led down dark paths throughout points in our lives. So really just repenting for the times that you feel that you've wronged people as well is important, because we've all wronged people in our life, and letting go of any shame and things like that.
I'm going through loads of that at the moment, to be honest. I'm not going to talk about it on here. Maybe after I'll talk to you about it. But shame, regret, low vibrational stuff where it's like it's affecting my ability to move on with things. So that's something I need to clear, and that's like maybe some inner child stuff as well that is important, and getting to the root of it that way. But anyway, I wanted to change things up. I've got a funny one for you. Okay, maybe we can remote view this. Who or what is Joe Biden? And I don't want to give too much away, but what is that? What is Joe Biden?
I know. I done this on my page.
Oh, have you?
No, it's not on my TikTok, but I'll look into it. I'll look again. So I'll look again just now, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so what I'm seeing as well is it's not just one, it's multiple, right?
I just wrote that in the chat. Because that's what I think. That's just my intuition. Multiples. Yeah.
Multiple.
See, I said that before you did that.
Yeah, multiple. So I seen the real Joe Biden is no longer with us as well. So the real Joe Biden is no longer here. Gone. I think when I picked it up, it was a few years ago that he passed away. And they took over. So there's several different ones, and I'm just being shown several kind of different types of ones. There's actually one that looks more AI robotic type as well, I'm seeing.
Yeah, this is what I think. I said this. I said that they're playing around with cyborg technology, transhuman technology, and they know that they can get away with it because they've given Joe the persona of being Sleepy Joe, having dementia. Exactly. So they can blame it on that rather than the fact they're piloting, they're test running this new technology, transhuman technology. That's what I think. But that's
okay. Transhumanism, and that's the end goal. For the dark side, that's what they want, and you can really see how these false prophets that are out there, Elon Musk, for example, do not get me started.
Oh God, Musk doesn't look real. He doesn't look human. Bill Gates doesn't look human. Musk doesn't look human. Zuckerberg doesn't look human. I mean, come on, he really doesn't look human. Zuckerberg, does it? He's like a lizardoid. He's a lizardoid.
Full-blown lizard, doesn't he? there's so many of them, but you know, like you can see Elon, people love Elon Musk as well. I've spoke about him so many times on TikTok.
No. Dangerous.
It is my hill. I will swear by this one. But yeah, you can see how he's leading people towards transhumanism for sure.
Yeah. He's playing good cop. You know that you have bad cop and good cop. He plays the good cop, so he gets everyone on side, and then he slowly moves them. He migrates them into his ideas. But yeah. You know, because he's very good at pushing against the all just the crazy woke stuff that we see in society, and so a lot of people get behind him. But Biden, I do think that there's a few of those that are face masks. I think some are clones or some kind of cyborg technology.
That makes sense. 100% resonates for sure. So several. Poor Joe Biden. It's not very nice.
I think they must have killed him off. They must have bumped the original off. I think it happened around 2012 because I went back and I looked at every single photo of Joe Biden over the years, and I could see there was it was around 2012 that there was a bit of a
difference.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Apparently, he was meant to have been, you know, a decent man back in the day. From what I don't know if that's true.
Probably,
I don't know.
Probably,
But if he was taken out like that, probably, you know, there wasn't, or maybe if he was taken out in that way, then that means that there was elements of him that they couldn't control, or that his programming had broke down or something, you know.
No, I agree. But also, this is my intuition, okay? People are going to hate me for this, but when I look at Trump now, it's like he hasn't aged since when he was president, and I'm like, I don't think that that's even the same Trump. Like, that's my intuition telling me that.
No, I know.
That's not logic, but what do you think about that?
With Trump, Trump is, do you know, this is actually, Trump is very divisive as well with people. You know, the hatred that kind of is incited. This is why I've done a couple of videos on Trump, but I don't go into detail with Trump because the amount of hate and everything that comes my way from that, it's not worth it. So Donald Trump, I read his soul, right? So not whether he's a clone, but I read his soul when on my Patreon, and what I seen for his soul was that he does have dark soul origins, part of like the Illuminati kind of bloodline in there. He has a lot of dark soul contracts as well. What I'd seen on a soul level for him in this lifetime, though, he has managed to work off some of the dark soul contracts, which means that there's some good that he's done in this lifetime, right? However, it's the good that he's done is self-serving, it's egotistical, narcissistic. So anything that he's done, and for good, he's done for his own image and how it makes him feel about himself. But that's just given him. What I'd also seen was that he's a catalyst for exposing things, right? However, he's heavily controlled by the dark side as well, right? And the information that he's getting, the information that he's getting through, he's part of a plan as well to garner a lot of trust from people. If you think about, they talk about the Antichrist. The Antichrist, there's several people that carry that energy, right? If you think about what they say about the Antichrist as well, it's going to be someone that everyone loves, that everyone. Donald Trump is, by the way, because he's not a carrier of the Antichrist energy. When I say that, no, not the Antichrist energy, but he has very dark soul contracts, soul origins. Anunnaki. His soul origins linked back to the Anunnaki is what I'd seen. But Elon Musk is actually darker on a soul level.
I think so. I think so. Again, Trump is like the good cop. You know, he's playing good cop, I think.
That's exactly what I feel.
Obviously, a lot of people don't like him, but you've got to also see a lot of people see him as the renegade and like he's going against the system. And
I mean, at least things are getting exposed, I suppose. You know, when you look at it that way, the light is shining light on that. It's a good thing that things are coming to light, regardless of who the source is, I suppose, right? Do I trust him? Do I trust him? You know, I wouldn't trust him.
Yeah, no, I don't. No, they're massive Zionists, aren't they? They're all massive Zionists, and they're all supporting Rothschild Zionism. Okay, we only got like 5 minutes left, so
it's okay. I can wait till like 10 past 11. It's all right.
Fantastic. So this is gonna be probably the easiest, quickest remote view you're ever gonna do. Michelle Obama, is it a man? Yes,
Do you know what?
let's move on.
I've actually never looked. I've never looked. So I am very open here to what the answer will be.
Okay.
Let me just have a look.
Big Mike. No?
I'm seeing bits. I'm seeing bits.
Yeah,
And thank you for that image, because it literally just showed me bits. Like, yeah, Michael, as they call him, bits in my
Big Mike.
So
Okay, that was quick.
Yeah,
So
thank you for that.
basically, yeah, I mean, because who was it? June Garland, was it? No, who was it that said Michelle's a tranny, and then she died a week later? Who was that, guys? In the comments,
Well,
can you let me know?
Joan Collins?
Joan
Collins.
Collins. No, Joan. Joan. Who was it? Someone in the comments.
What was her name? That is not Joan. Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers,
wasn't it? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. But that's funny, isn't it?
That was a lovely image. Lovely image.
Yes,
Although what I will say is, I don't. I'm wary of the whole theories of everybody being inverted, or everybody dead, or everybody still being alive. But there's truth to everything.
So basically, Obama is gay, and he is bottom, isn't he? And Mike's
top.
I'm
getting goosebumps when you're saying that. Definitely.
That's hilarious. Not that's any surprise to me, but that's good validation.
Obama is a carrier of the Antichrist energy as well.
Wow.
That's when I looked at his energy. A carrier.
Really?
There's many carriers of it, but Obama was one that I've seen as well. And if you think about how much people love him too, I used to like him before
I know. He comes across so well, doesn't he? He comes across so eloquent, doesn't he? That's why everyone says he's
lovely. He's lovely. He's lovely.
I know. Yeah, no, I don't trust him now anyway, put it that way.
Oh, geez, no, definitely not.
No,
definitely not. He actually has, and I don't know if I should say this, but he's definitely attracted to minors, and you can tell that by his energy.
Tell that. Yeah.
By his energy, which is
definitely. Yeah, no, I could feel that. I could see that. Okay, I don't know if you saw one of my videos, but I did it about. It's kind of about David Jason. I don't know whether that's maybe something we could look into. Okay, you know Del Boy from Only Fools and Horses?
Yes.
Would you mind just checking it, feeding into him?
Check his energy. What?
Yeah, David Jason.
That's very strange.
I'm not going to say anything. I just want you to tune into it. David Jason, who's the actor that plays Del Boy.
So what specifically are you wanting me to look at? His energy or his soul? Because it's different.
Energy. What he gets up to,
Right. What he's right. Okay. Let me just.
Yeah.
He's got. Right. Let me just confirm this. Yeah. So he's got demonic attachments, right? So. Types of demonic attachments that he's got in his energy is what they call the incubus and the succubus demonic energy. Basically, that's the lustful type energy. So when you see that energy and people, it's actually attached to them, then that kind of means that they're into minors. When you see that energy, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, you're absolutely spot on there, because it's all going to come out like Jimmy Savile. Okay, I'm going to say this now. I don't know whether I'm going to say this now, but I'm going to say this in a way that's like not going to get myself into trouble. But he is on a par, if not worse, than Jimmy Savile.
What?
And, yeah. And it's only going to come out when he dies. Yeah, and I'm only saying this because I know what's going to happen. Is like, when Jimmy Savile died, everyone's like, why did no one say anything at the time? I'm like, I'm going to fucking say it now. He's as bad as Jimmy Savile, and it's all going to come out when he dies.
I'm pretty shocked about that. Don't get me wrong. I don't know why I'm shocked about it, but
did you feel that though? Did you see that?
I've never paid attention to him, right? So he's never been on my radar. I didn't think he was big enough to have that kind of.
Yeah.
I think he's just always flew, but do you know that makes sense? He's always flew under the radar. He's never been someone that's been in a lot of magazines or really out there anyway, right? So I suppose he's a perfect person.
But did you pick up on that though, or not? Was that under your radar? with him when you did that remote, when you felt into him? You know?
What do you mean? Was what in
Sorry,
there?
you know when I asked you just to feel into his energy and like what he's about, like, but you did say minors, but did that even fly out of your radar, or did you feel like you did actually pick up on that with him?
No, I picked up on it with him because I've never heard that before either. And you can see when someone has those types of, that's why I was asking you, do you want me to look at his soul or do you want me to look at his energy? Because both is different, you know? So when you look at that energy, I can physically see the attachments that are in his energy and are infiltrating through the energy. So when you have incubus and succubus demons attached onto someone as firmly as they are onto him, then they're into minors, you know, and they are actively, what that also means is they are actively engaging in acts with minors, right? When you see that energy is what you see.
People are in for a shock, I think, with that. And like people just have to think that anyone that's been knighted, so all these sirs, especially that have come from the BBC, forget about it. He's a sir, Sir David Jason. I think he is. Yeah, like all Sir David Attenborough. I'm sure David Attenborough as well. Like
$1,000,000%.
I would put my house on David Attenborough being a nonce.
$1,000,000%. So he's got reptilian soul origins as well. David Attenborough, he's got strong reptilian connections, like really, 100%. Sir, if you think all the ones that get knighted and all, Sir Keir Starmer. Sir Keir Starmer.
Oh my God, Keir Starmer. Yeah, he's wrapped with evil. I haven't seen someone as evil as him looking since Tony Blair. Like when I look at Keir Starmer,
$1,000,000%.
Because you know when you look at Tony Blair, he actually looks like the Green Goblin, doesn't he? You know what I mean? He actually looks like someone that probably started off pretty benevolent, but then got really like taken into the dark side. Probably did a few rituals and stuff, and you can see it in his face. He's almost got that, like, you know, that Dr. Zeus kind of Cheshire cat, like, you know, like really evil, like Keir Starmer. Like I get that vibe from Keir Starmer. Not quite as bad, but like I really feel it from Keir Starmer.
Yeah. Keir Starmer is another one that's minors as well.
Really, yeah. Well, you know the story of him and Jimmy Savile, don't you? You know that he was head of the Crown prosecution. What was it? He was like he got Jimmy Savile off, didn't he? He kind of let him
briefly at this ringing a bell. I'm not 100%. But it doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me either.
On X recently, but I didn't. I only heard that information recently as well about Keir Starmer. I seen something on X or something about it, but so he was the prosecutor then, Keir Starmer, and he was meant to be Is that right?
I don't know. I don't know his actual position, but like he would have had the papers cross his desk, and he just he let it go. And I think because he actually knew Jimmy Savile from a long time ago, and I think that's why he let it go. You know, I don't know if someone in the chat can say what his actual position was. You know, within the court. Sorry, not Crown prosecution, but you know what I mean. It was like, anyway, someone might be able to put his position in here. But CPS, that was it was Crown prosecution service who let him off 6 times. Can you imagine Jimmy Savile getting let off? I mean, like it's just so laughable now, isn't it? It's just awful.
It is, and now he's Prime Minister.
I mean, they're all as bad as each other now. I don't care. I mean, it's not like you're going to get a good guy come in.
No, they're never going to exactly like. I don't vote. I don't vote. You know, it's like I don't see I think it's a scam. So there's no way I'm wasting my valuable time getting into a polling station. Anyway.
There's definitely not. I mean, I think the best thing you can do, someone says, you go into a polling station and you actually cross out all of them and say, I do not advocate for any of you pedos or something like that.
Oh, they do that. That's not a waste of time.
Actually, like a deliberately spoiled ballot, but you kind of, make your mark on it. People do that with. I've got friends who did that with the TV license as well. I said, I do not support.
That's funny.
I do not support a paedophile organisation. Thank you.
That is funny. Funny. That's funny.
But I just want to say for everyone watching, please go and follow Ash Tyler 222 on TikTok. Ash is such a lovely, beautiful person, and she's very giving in her energy, and you can feel that from the moment you watch her videos. But again, as Ash would say, like if you're drawn to her, go for it. Like go with who you're drawn to. But like I was very drawn to Ash, and like we connected quickly online. It was very, very nice, and mutual appreciation there. But yeah, Ash, you're such a lovely person. So you've got such a gift, and so please go and check Ash out. And yeah, thanks for all your comments today, by the way, guys. Like, brilliant. These are all in the studio early, and I was like, we've got about 1 million guests. So I've got to deal with.
I'd definitely love to come back on another time as well.
Yeah, like every 2 or 3 months, you should come on, and we should do like another one. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Yeah, thanks for all your comments. They were brilliant. And yeah, my channel is obviously youtube.com/the John Cooper. You're probably watching it now anyway, so you know. But I'm gonna so you already know. But please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Give the video a like, and yeah, we'll end it there. And then yeah, I'm gonna sign off for you personally, Ash, if that's all right. So yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lucy. Thanks, Nats. Thanks, Amy. Bye. Thanks, Rebecca. Thanks, Emma. See you, everyone. Bye bye. All right, brilliant.